Retro Music Review UK. My name's Roger Swift, back here to do another retro music review. This is a channel where I take songs from the past, play them on my CD player here, and tell you what I think about them, and then edit the video badly. So this is the one I'm going to do today. Now this is a bit of an unusual one because I'm actually going to do a B-side slash album track for the first time. Okay, now this is a song by a band called N-Trance, and this is the CD single I'm taking it off, which is Staying Alive. But that's not what I'm going to play. I'm going to play the B-side from this, slash it was an album track. It was on this, and it was on their album at the time as well, but I don't actually have that, I have it on this. So what it was is during the 90s there was a bit of, in the mid to late 90s there was this big 70s revival where the 70s kind of became cool. And there was these a lot of these like reworkings. I'm going to do a few more of these in the future videos where they take a song from the 70s and they weren't like cover versions. They would do like a modern take on it where they would actually literally cut out the chorus from the original song, put it in a new mix, and then add their own rap verses in it. But it actually sampled the direct chorus hook from the original song with the original artists or somebody re-recording it that sounded like the original artist. And this was the one that kicked it off. It was N-Trance's "Staying Alive." It's basically it's a piss take effectively of the Bee Gees' "Staying Alive." And what they did is they used the original music riff underneath it all. It's got that the catchy riff from underneath "Staying Alive." Got that underneath with like they sort of mix it with a hip hop beat. Added in their own new rap verses and then put in this chord, the ha 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 staying alive bit in it. But then there's like it's not the Bee Gees, it's like this stupidly exaggerated version of it. Massive hit. This reached number 2 in the UK Top 40 singles chart. I'm not actually going to play that from it though. I could talk about. I might come back and do it in a future date. Then N-Trance repeated the formula, and they did it with Rod Stewart's "Do You Think I'm Sexy" a few years later, the same like formula. And other bands like Bus Stop came along and they did it the same, a different band, but they did the same thing with Carl Douglas's Kung Fu Fighting and Batman Turner Overdrive, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. They did it with these sort of, it was in the sort of 1995 to 1999 period. I know for a fact it's on one of the Now That's What I Call Music albums. So another act did it with Leo Sayers' "You Make Me Feel Like Dancing," the same thing, but it actually had Leo Sayers' chorus in it and everything. And it was a sort of thing, it was a thing. That was a thing during the late 90s. But what I'm going to do now, and another fun fact is it's N-Trance featuring Ricardo da Force. Ricardo da Force was the rapper who raps on this. Prior to that, he'd been the rapper in the KLF, who I've talked about in the previous video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you track 2 on the CD. Let's have a look at the CD. Of course, you've got the "Staying Alive," John Travolta with the thing. In a way, it's a sort of homage slash piss take of it, but the artwork on the back there, and inside, that's what it looks like. Signed to ATTTW, which is Around the World Records. I know that was the record label this was signed to. That's what the CD looks like. Now, I'm going to play you track 2 from this, which is a song called "I Will Take You There," which was also on N-Trance's album, which I don't have. I don't actually have a copy of that. I didn't own this back in the day. I had a friend at school who owned it, but I never actually bought this at the time. It was kind of it was the flavour of the month for a while, this song was. And I remember him playing this at school. He used to go to school and he used to like go and play he used to take like a Walkman and we'd listen to music on Walkman. And he had the cassette single. He didn't have this CD single, he had this on cassette with "Staying Alive" on the one side and then this on the B side, "I Will Take You There," which is why I'm familiar with it. And it's the one I want to talk about today because this is kind of good. This is a different side to the 90s. This isn't a reworking of any song. It's kind of this very, very 90s sounding pop trance kind of thing. It's kind of like a pop version of a trance or dance record. It's actually really good, which is why I'm gonna play it. And I still think stands up. But it's actually, like, not ironically, it actually is a good dance pop song. So that's going to play it now. So we're going to skip to track 2 here and play it. This is N-Trance. By the way, lovely pun there. That's not anyone not from the UK or Europe watching. That's N-Trance. See what they did there, right? Yeah. I love puns. Anyway, so here we go. 90s trance has that kind of, it's like snap. It kind of reminds me, it's kind of a, they're trying to do Snap's Rhythm as a Dancer in a way here. It's kind of like a poor man's version of that. But you've got the basic, all the basic tropes of the sort of early to mid 90s dance here going on. And now someone who's trying desperately to sound like Seal, I think. But I like this. This has got all the 90s dance tropes that I like in a song. Yep, in comes the snare kick. You've got your basic keyboard riff, you've got your bass riff underneath that, your basic drum loop. And now we hit the chorus and in comes the keyboard riff. Air keyboard. You know the expression comfort zone? This is kind of putting me into a comfort zone in a way. It's kind of, you're saying, I will take you there. I will take you there, back to the mid-90s. The school disco. 15 years old at the school disco, I make it clear, this was never released as a single. This song playing now, this was never a single. It was a B-side / album track, to repeat myself for a third time. Jerome Stokes, it says here. I will take you there, vocals Jerome Stokes. That's who's singing. Who's trying to sound like Seal. How 90s is this? This is just if I had children and one came up to me and said, like, Daddy, what was the 90s music all about? I'd play him this. This just epitomises 90s dance music. I mean, if I make up a music video in my head for this right now, what I'm visualising is kind of like an N-Trance's, Rhythm as a Dancer, kind of like a jet, this sort of like smoke everywhere and a sort of 90s dance, people doing this, and smoke, and then the guy singing up on a podium with a microphone. There was no music video for this song. I'm just kind of, the one I'm making up in my head when I hear it is that's kind of what I'm visualising. Put it to the bridge here, and you get that sort of, you got that sort of thing you sound there. Everyone does this, that kind of 90s thing where everyone does that in the light, strobe lights. And then we're sort of into that softer bridge. And back to the chorus. Really comforting to me, this. The era before smartphones, when people lived in the moment, That's what I'm doing in my head. I'm stopping. There's no surprises. You've heard the whole song now. You're just going to keep repeating it. I've got this food tasting video I'm going to throw in at random. It will be a one-off, there won't be any others. I'm going to film that next. And I'm also going to try and fit in one more last retro music review before I go to the Edinburgh Fringe at the end of July. Then there'll be no videos again after that until September, when I aim to try and do at least one a week after that, when I've got September to December sort of time. The Fringe is over for us comedians. I will find the time to do more of these videos. But if you are enjoying this channel, please hit subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. There will be more coming.